is the award-winning In the Know for Friday, February 21, the 52nd day of 2025. There are 313 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com, via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country to get ready for a warmer weekend. That and a whole lot more coming up today. You're on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire. It's my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's B. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. I sprung a leak over here. I took a big drink of water and
That's
down
all
my
right.
chin it went.
Maintenance will come through later and clean it all up. That's we have a very healthy custodial department around here. We are we are not afraid to share the entertainment world with our grandson. Like we even maybe before he was ready, we thought, forcing us to get back into the world of, we've not been in it for 5 or 6 years because of Alea's age, but the landscape of children's television. Like we're having to figure out what it looks like in the year 2025. Obviously, Bluey is part of it. But parents have been asked, what shows do they hate the most that their kids watch? Blippi is on the list. Peppa Pig is on the list. But at the top of the list is Coco Melon.
Yeah.
Coco Melon is the one that parents hate the worst, so maybe we should avoid it the most.
And if you think about it,
Morning, Ralph. Not too bad. How are you?
In schools, and you have to deal with school administrators and other teams, etc., and you deal with a lot of people. So do you think any of them might be mythomaniacs?
Can you use that in a sentence?
Yes, mythomaniacs are people who constantly lie. There's the sentence. Oh, it's almost like someone, he had people come to mind. I had to, sounded as if perhaps you know
No
someone
comment.
that matches that description. No comment. Very good. So I must be on to something. Hopefully you don't encounter any mythomaniacs this weekend, especially tonight as you head out. I do want to hear about your trip to Hawesville momentarily. We're going to see slow temperature recovery beginning today. We're going to stair step up today, and then better tomorrow, better on Sunday, even better on Monday. This high temperature that we're going to have today, it will only be at freezing, but somehow it will feel refreshing considering how it's felt the last couple of days. I was out yesterday in the single-digit wind chills, and I thought, I didn't realize it was this cold. It was bad. We're going to see highs close to freezing this afternoon under mostly sunny skies, so we'll get a lot of convection along with the temperature. We'll lose a lot of snow today, so that's good. Mostly sunny, 32, mostly clear, some patchy fog tonight, an overnight low of 16. So cold again tonight, but rebounding. We'll kind of bounce back up to 38 tomorrow, 24 tomorrow night, 45, 24 tomorrow night, 45 for your Sunday afternoon, then into the 50s for the next 3 days, may even tick 60 on Wednesday. Then we'll settle back out into the 40s, at least the upper 40s. But if you do look ahead to a week from Sunday, we see our high again is only 37. So it is not as if we are out of the woods weather-wise. President Trump's nominee for the FBI director was confirmed yesterday. All Democrats voted against, but perhaps one of the longest confirmation processes. Kash Patel is the new director of the FBI. and we'll be interested in seeing what type of chaos ensues there as a result, and trying to, he says, rebuild the reputation of the Bureau after it has been besmirched over the last few years. Then perhaps in the biggest news of the day, we learned that our longest serving senator and the longest serving Senate party leader in American history, one Mitch McConnell, will not seek an 8th term in 2026. And so just as he stepped down from his leadership position, beginning with this year in the Senate, he will then not seek re-election, which then sets the stage for primary and a general election. We haven't had an open Senate seat in Kentucky since Rand Paul ran in 2010 following the loss of Jim Bunning. So it forces everyone to kind of look back on the legacy of McConnell. You know, he served as an intern in Congress at a very young age, and then he came back to Louisville, where he was an attorney there in public service. And he mentioned yesterday on the Senate floor that when he got to Washington, he didn't have the benefit of managing a statewide government like a governor would. He didn't have a history in politics or in leadership. He had spent the years trying to figure out what it is the people of Kentucky, not just Jefferson County, wanted, and then went in 1985 and has been serving since. And that era will come to an end. And I believe that this is probably the beginning of a chapter change, if you will. I think we're going to see, obviously Biden has bowed out. You're going to see Pelosi exit the stage. You're going to see McConnell exit the stage, and some others that you can just tell the American people are saying it is time for a new generation of leadership in Washington. It does also make me wonder. I have always had questions and continue to have questions about how some of our Congress people can go to Washington, D.C. with, I'll use the word meager or average net worths, and then go earn salaries that are not huge salaries in comparison to the net wealth that they amass while they are there. And I do think investigations on those are coming. I think that that's part of what DOJ is going to do. And I do think that some of the things that are going to be unearthed are going to be unpopular for members of Congress. But I'm ready to see what...
This break is brought to you by Adobe Photoshop. Fun fact.
The senator was kind of unsure on his feet yesterday. He's wearing a walking boot. He went over, he spoke for some time. Probably his legacy is going to be, not in addition to changing the dynamics of the GOP, and framing it in the form of Reagan, of the Reagan era, he is going to get credit or blame for the shaping of the Supreme Court, for really the judicial scale across the board, but in particular the Supreme Court. He was very instrumental in the way the court looks now, and in the way the court could not have looked in the famous Merrick Garland decision. But he has had the party, you know, he was the most powerful Republican in the country until, I'll say, like 2018, 2019. Trump has wrestled the Republican Party away from Mitch McConnell, and they don't like one another. And even though they have worked together, they don't really care for one another at all, and exchange barbs from time to time. So McConnell has earned a break. Some will tell you he stayed too long. I'll tell you, I don't know if he stayed too long, but I know that Kentucky had a front row seat for most of anything that was good for Kentucky for the better part of 40 years. So that will certainly be a change. 18 minutes after that announcement was made yesterday, Daniel Cameron says, I'm running. Daniel Cameron says he will get in the race for the U.S. Senate in 2026. It's expected that Andy Barr will get in there. There is a well-funded businessman who is closely aligned with Vice President Vance. His name is Nate Morris, and it is likely that he could get in the primary as well. But it's going to be a tough primary. And I would only remind you to consider this: there are no assurances that Mitch McConnell gets to January of 27 when he will leave the Senate. So while you have people lining up to say, well, I'm going to run in 2026, there's a lot of runway between now and then, and a lot could happen. and something like that will suddenly change dynamics. Kentucky has been in the national news a lot this week, going back to our flooding from over the weekend, and this just the terrible flooding going on in eastern Kentucky. Obviously, the McConnell news is dominating the national and perhaps the global news cycle. And then the idea of is there or is there not gold in Fort Knox has obviously brought us back to the conversation. And so Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that there is an audit every year and that all the gold is present and accounted for. The Treasury says about half of the nation's gold is at Fort Knox. Fort Knox was opened, it's the triangle between Bullitt, Hardin, and Meade counties. We know it well. It started as Camp Knox, but it became a permanent installation in 1932. The gold arrived in 1937 with the 1st Cavalry Regiment called on to guard the shipment. It was strategic because back in the 30s, the western half of our country was still new. But in the 30s, it was centrally located. It was not near a coast. Where it was located was thought to be protected from attack from the outside. It's huge. It's 109,000 acres that's there. It is misleading when you drive by the depository and you see it. You think, well, that doesn't look all that intimidating. I think there's more there than probably meets the eye. But the gold is there, and I referred to you yesterday. There was a delegation of people that toured it, but it was 1974, so it was 51 years ago that the last time that a congressional delegation went. But back just a couple of years ago, Governor Bevin and maybe Blinken one of the Treasury secretaries from that time went and toured it and verified it as well. But then it also plays it plays a part in the lore of our nation. When you talk about all the gold in Fort Knox, and even that's thanks to Bugs Bunny. That's they go digging for gold in the in the Bugs Bunny cartoons. Also Goldfinger, the movie Stripes was the opening scene of Stripes is in downtown Louisville, and then the majority of the movie is filmed at Fort Knox as well. And tying that back to, there was a time, I think it was around 2005, that it was believed that Fort Knox was going to be gone. I don't know what they would have done with the gold and relocating it, but Mitch McConnell was instrumental in protecting and getting the realignment done and long-term preservation of Fort Knox. Governor Beshear will be in Washington this weekend for the National Governors Association meeting, but he did say yesterday he was going to meet with other important federal people about continuing assistance for Kentucky's disaster. He said the amount of closed or flooded roads is now down to 186 in the Commonwealth. That's down from 300. The state police telecommunicators answered 14,866 calls for service since Monday, February 15th. They rescued 175 stranded motorists. As of yesterday, there were 653 customers without power statewide. That's down from 1710 on Wednesday. The peak outage was 43,000 customers at one point in time, so that was a lot. Grayson County Lady Cougars and Cougars will be on the road tonight at Hawesville. It will be the swan song of the 2024-2025 regular season, Samuel.
Yes, regular season. There's still hopefully a lot more basketball to play, but yep, looks pretty good that both these teams will be making the trip to Hancock County tonight. So our coverage will begin on K105 at 5:40. And I know we've had some issues at Hancock in the past with getting, it's kind of a black hole of service. So I'm hopeful that we can get our video stream up as well. But remember that if that ever doesn't work, we'll always post a message. And then also you can just download the K105 app and you can listen to the game, which I understand is not quite as good as watching, but then you still get it if you're not in the listening area.
People of a certain age will also remember the era where you had to stay up until 10:30 at night to watch some of the UK games each year. It's just a throwback to that type of thing. You might have to stay up until maybe 10:30 the next day in order to. I don't want to put the pressure on you that it'll be that night, but
no, I'll be honest, it will not be tonight if it does, because by the time we get, we won't be back until 10:30 at the earliest, probably tonight. That would be on the early end of the spectrum, so if not even almost 11.
If you show the game late, though, will Rob Bromley be part of the call?
Are you firing Steven?
No, I'm not. I just didn't know he can't stay up that late. And you know that the broadcasters stay up late for when it's aired, not when it's recorded. So
This
Okay,
is
I'm,
true.
I'm lying about that part. That's not true. We do know that next week has come into focus for both these teams. Can you kind of touch on the expectations for next week?
Yeah, so Monday, the Lady Cougars will play Butler County at 7:30 in Whitesville. So that'll be the second game. They tied with Edmondson. You remember we were talking about the RPI. Edmondson ended up winning the RPI tiebreaker by, maybe 1,000th of a point or something. So it wasn't a massive, which 1,000th is it might have been 100th or something. It was a tight margin, but not super, super close, because there was a point where Edmondson had the lead by 9 millionths of a point. So it was very, very close. But Edmondson ended up getting the 1 seed, so they'll play the host Whitesville Trinity at 5:30 in Whitesville, and then Grayson will play Butler in the nightcap about 7:30 there in Whitesville. And then on Tuesday, the Cougar boys, they were also tied with Butler County. They get the tiebreaker against the Bears via the RPI. That one was not as close. So they will play Whitesville Trinity at 6:30. So what they're doing with the semifinals is they're splitting them on Tuesday and Wednesday. So the Cougar boys will play on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday you'll have Edmondson Butler. Both those games at 6:30, and both championships Thursday and Friday will also be at 6:30 should the Cougars make it that far.
Okay, very exciting opening week to the postseason of basketball season. And then we will have coverage tomorrow. I believe it's a 5 o'clock tip in Tuscaloosa. Mark Pope's Cats are on the road to face the highly ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. Countdown at 3:30 tomorrow. Tip is at 5. So go Cougars, go Lady Cougars, go Cats. Hope they have a great weekend. We'll come back. We got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
Your health care starts with Owensboro Health Primary Care in Big Clifty. Family medicine physician Dr. Kiersey Kuiper was trained by the University of Louisville in Owensboro and cares for patients 16 years and older. She's here to help when you want to stay healthy, when you're not feeling well, and when you need help managing a chronic condition. Learn more and schedule your appointment online at owensborohealth.org/BigClifty.
When buying or selling a home, you want experience, trust, and personal touch. But they say you can only pick two. Well, with Gina Lastly at Tom Baxter Real Estate, you get all three. With a decade of expertise as a broker, Gina's attention to detail and passion for real estate make her a trusted friend and professional. She goes above and beyond to ensure your real estate journey is smooth and successful.
I'm Gina Leslie. Put my passion for real estate to work for you. Call me now at 217-721-0034.
Discover the difference at TomBaxterRealEstate.com.
Yellowwood knows that a five-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like roasting marshmallows on a cool fall night. That's it. Turn it nice and slow. Get it toasted all... Oh no, it's on fire. Oh, you want it on fire. Okay, that's a choice, I guess. Crunchy. For five-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start March 17th. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, College for the Real World.
The Grayson County Health Department reminds you of the importance to get vaccinated. It's important not only to protect yourself, but your friends, family, and co-workers. The Grayson County Health Department is committed to keeping our community safe. Walk-in clinics offer both the COVID-19 and flu vaccines. Monday through Thursday, 9 to 11 and 1 to 3. Visit 124 East White Oak Street or myhealthdepartment.org. Grayson County Health Department. Together, we are better.
Apple is unveiling its newest iPhone model. Matt Mattinson has the details.
The tech giant put a spotlight on the iPhone 16e on Wednesday. It's aimed to be a more cost-friendly version of the company's current mobile lineup, but is still equipped with Apple's A18 chip, the same processor used in the more expensive iPhone 16 models. Other features include Apple Intelligence and the company's first cellular modem. The 16e starts at just under $600 and is set to hit shelves on February 28th.
Microsoft is unveiling its first quantum computing chip, the Majorana 1. The tech giant has spent nearly 2 decades researching the field. According to technologists, quantum computers could eventually solve problems efficiently that would be difficult, if not impossible, for classical computers. Google and IBM are among the companies that have also developed quantum processors. And Meta plans to build the longest undersea internet cable in the world. The Facebook and Instagram parent company expects the multi-billion-dollar project to be completed by the end of the decade. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today is single tasking day. You have a hard time with single tasking.
I do?
You're typically multitasking.
Oh, tasking.
Yeah,
Okay.
tasking. It's National Caregivers Day today. Tomorrow is Cook a Sweet Potato Day. I predict we will be cooking a sweet potato tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Not for us, for Gertie. It's a staple of her diet. Tomorrow is Supermarket Employee Day. Bless their hearts. I went to the supermarket yesterday for the pickup, and you got exposed yesterday to the adults who primarily rely upon young workers, like working part-time to do jobs like that, stock shelves, carry out groceries, load groceries in cars, etc., because you could tell the snow or the excuse of snow had kept some of their younger employees at home, and so the people who are not typically accustomed to doing that were having to fill those roles, and they were not very happy about it.
Well.
You could just tell it. And then Sunday is Banana Bread Day. So for all those who celebrate, I'm not a celebrator of Banana Bread Day, but for all who celebrate, knock yourselves out and enjoy it. The Weekend Funny tweets. I ran across a couple of things that I felt worthy of sharing with you. Katie D said, "Can it be an emotional support animal if the animal doesn't want to participate? Asking for my cat." Cats are. Brandy Jensen says, "It's so scary when you realize your phone has been up to stuff while in your pocket." Sometimes it goes, "Oh, how did that happen?"
You get the nice text message or phone call or something.
Yeah, you never quite know. This one made me laugh. You got to hand it to Sabrina Carpenter. I don't think I've heard anyone say espresso in about a year. Like, yeah, she did kind of cure that problem. You know, those people that don't know how to say espresso, they just go, "I'll have one of those espressos." And she took care of that. And then Witch said, this one's really accurate considering current events. "Back in my day, there was so much toilet paper and so much eggs that we gathered at night and threw them at the houses of our enemies. Like, we just threw them away. They were just so plentiful. We just threw them away."
Now people might welcome being egged.
Get
you
you
breakfast.
Can catch them, you need like a mitt or a net to try to catch them without cracking the eggs, or at least if you crack them, you'd have the whites and the yolks, not so much on the shells, I believe. We are heading for someone I know just went on an organizational storm yesterday, and it makes me wonder if you, right? Didn't you go on an organizational storm?
My office was bad.
And so perhaps we also, the next thing will be cleaning appliances. Here are the 5 not so obvious home appliances that you should clean and what happens if you don't. We did this week, not because we did anything other than throw a tablet in there, but the washing machine.
Yeah, I did that.
We don't think about the fact that the appliances we use need to be clean. One that's frequently overlooked is the washing machine. If you've ever noticed that your clothes smell after washing them, this could mean that bacteria is lurking in your machine according to a microbiologist and a guy that wrote the book called The Germ Code. So, in addition, not washing out detergent or fabric softener that gets stuck in the machine can affect its performance. So how do you clean it? Well, it depends on how much laundry you're doing and the amount of type of detergent that you're using. So you can look it up online on how best to do it. Ours has a cycle on it. You can do it with or without the cleaning tablet. And I'll presume that's good enough. If it requires something more than that, well, then we're falling short. 2 is the dishwasher. We've had a checkered past and maybe even a checkered present with dishwashers. Our old dishwasher was the worst smelling thing that it was terrible. And even though you cleaned out the trap and it seemed like you were cleaning it,
You did everything.
you did everything you could do, but it seemingly would not smell. It says if your dishwasher isn't cleaned, its filter will clog over time. Mold and bacteria may quickly start growing in the machine. This will lead to particles contaminating every plate, pot, pan, etc. So you got to take care of that.
See, I wash my dishwasher, multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Well, and so the other thing too is wipe your plates off into the garbage can or the garbage disposal. If you put caked on food, I don't care what the commercials say, how well their brand of detergent or pod works, that crap is still going down to get trapped in there. It drives me insane. And it doesn't happen here. I'm not talking about you, but in general, it drives me crazy.
I think they will tell you. I think they stage that for dramatic purposes to make it look like our dishwasher detergent is tough. The extra food, if it's actual food, then rake that off. But you don't have to go to the trouble of rinsing it clean and then putting in the dishwasher. You can leave a little bit of stuff in there, but you got to use your common sense.
A little bit of ketchup.
The thing that we do this both with the washer and the dishwasher. And sometimes we do this with Sam's type of dishwasher too, is we overfill it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you put too much. No, right. We do the same.
No, it's me.
We do too much. We put too much stuff in there and then wonder why it isn't working efficiently. Sam, do you ever overfill your dishwasher?
No comment.
I hate too much. Sam, by the way, in case you haven't picked up, Sam's his own dishwasher. That's
Yes, that's why I wash mine multiple times a day, because I wash my hands. No, I mean, for me though, it's like I think last week when I have Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday games, it's sometimes I don't get the chance to wash the dishes through the week. So I think on Saturday I was scrubbing down some dishes.
That's your ketchup. That's your catching up, not ketchup. Have you considered using paper plates or styrofoam?
But that is not good for the environment.
Okay, well, it's good for you, though, because you don't have to wash the dishes on Saturday. That's what I was asking.
And plus, the paper plates I have are kind of small, so it's
gotcha.
Yeah, no, I try to do my best.
I missed the comment.
The coffee maker, hardened water minerals can build up and impact your coffee maker's performance, especially with the Keurig. From time to time, you got to run, you got to run water through there with vinegar or cleaning But then your coffee tastes like vinegar for quite some time. It's hard to ever get that taste out of there efficiently.
Well,
So,
don't you?
Did you see it then?
You got the pod.
Say that again.
Don't you have the little pod that you send through? I remember that was the job at the station, like every so often.
But I will tell you, I have my own Keurig now because I will not run because I drink tea.
And that was always my issue.
Yes, and it still tastes like coffee. Blech.
We have his and her Keurig.
We have his and hers.
But
because
I noticed she's coming
I needed
over
that
to
at
my
the
side of
station.
the world. She's drinking more coffee.
Slightly.
Yeah, because I needed that at the station. Because I'd usually have to brew 4 or 5 cups of just water just to get me something that was at least somewhat clear.
Yeah, I would have got you one, Sam.
The dryer lint that comes off your clothes during the drying process will build up after every cycle. If you don't know there's a lint trap in your
You're in
washer,
trouble.
in your dryer, you are in trouble. You're doing it wrong and you're expect a fire. And then 5th is the microwave.
Oh,
the microwave is often overlooked and gets very dirty with particles and splash from
See,
cooking.
when I scrub down my kitchen counters, that's usually because it sits on my kitchen counter. That's in the process.
It's co-located, so it's an extension of the countertop.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's smart.
Because, I mean, what you knock from the microwave goes onto the kitchen counter, and then what gets knocked there gets knocked onto the floor, and then the floors get scrubbed after that.
Speaking of the kitchen, One of the things that I grab out of the kitchen most every morning is a small glass of V8 because it's got apparently 8 vegetables in it and it's good for you. But I would never in a restaurant or sometime at a convenience store, I might grab one as a snack because it's a better alternative than getting, say, a soda or something. But I would never sit down in a restaurant and say, bring me tomato juice. But that's just not. I'll do orange. I might do apple like at a breakfast buffet. But even though I like tomato juice and V8, it's not something I will typically order while having my feet planted firmly on the ground.
Other than a Bloody Mary?
No.
So,
I mean,
did you catch the feet firmly
Yeah.
planted on the ground? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I also know where he's headed next, so.
Yes.
But you put me in an airplane.
Okay.
If you put me in an airplane, I will almost guarantee you there's a tomato juice in my future.
Why?
And I have never really understood why.
And
See,
like just legit tomato juice, Sam.
Oh, I know. Well, when I flew in the fall,
Imbibing.
when I flew to go to the Bengals game in the fall, I'm sitting there and it was a, 2-on-2, 2 wide, and the person to my right immediately orders tomato juice. And I'm like, of all things you could have ordered, like the thing that is like, it's like,
And Sam's over here going,
yeah, pretty much. I'm like, thank goodness this is like an hour-long flight. So hopefully you can pound this really quick. And I think she even asked for like, can I have the can too? I'm like, no, you cannot.
no, you're not.
I love it. I love it when the flight attendant asks you, do you want the can? Yes, I do.
Could
Thank you
you
very
smell
much.
it, Sam?
See, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, see, and I held up my L8. I was like, this does not smell bad, because I had to take the
So
L8
the
to
two most
Chicago.
common places that you're going to see tomato juice is at a brunch and on an airplane. But I've never really understood why. But they say food tastes different while you're in the air. The dry pressurized cabin that you're in actually is weakening your sense of smell
Yeah,
because
that's
your
false.
sense of smell plays a big part in how you taste. Your sense of taste is weakened too. So similarly and interestingly, the background noise of the plane also affects your taste. Normal foods may not be as flavorful while you're on a plane. That's why some people turn to tomato juice, because tomato juice typically has a tartness and added spices, making the juice taste more flavorful than most drinks while in the air. Beyond the fact that tomato juice just tastes great while on an airplane, according to most of us, not named Sam, some people like to drink it for the health benefits as well. Being in that dry, pressurized cabin isn't great for you or your body because flying is a major source of dehydration. The tomato juice will help replace your electrolytes. It's a vitamin C boost, etc. And it just doesn't. One of the things I don't like about Diet Coke in a plane is it fizzes so much. That's what flight attendants will tell you. Like, they open a Diet Coke and it just fizz, 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 fizz. So I don't know how I got started doing it, but as long as I can remember, I've been drinking tomato juice during a flight. And
That's where I'll usually just, and it's probably not the most financially smart decision, is I'll usually just buy one, buy the $12 one at the convenience store there in the airport, and then carry it onto the plane.
Tomato juice has always been a part of my life growing up. I mean, so whether it was Nanny with the V8 or the canned tomato juice, or, I did V8 for however many years. I mean, it's always been around for me.
My Aunt Holly, and that's been a part of our family too, but it's not something I drink. It's only been in probably the last 5 years that I drink it every morning, but that's just because I need more fruits and vegetables, because I'm less likely to just sit down and say, well, here's a vegetable I'm eating. So I get, a serving in there, or at least a serving, if more. So just part of the ritual. But from a nostalgia standpoint, my Aunt Holly drank the little bitty cans of V8, one every morning, even back when that little plastic tab that barely held it on, just a little bit of glue that was holding on the whole thing. And so just seeing those little cans, which that's one of the reasons that we have the little small Sprites that we use. We call those Aunt Holly Sprites because she would drink the little cans of things. So that's how we refer to them. You want a Holly Sprite? Because that's different. That means it's a small one rather than a big one. And then while you may know the term white noise, and many people are using white noise machines for their children or perhaps even themselves, there is now something called green noise, and it may be the magical solution to better sleep. Unlike white noise, which contains all sound frequencies across the spectrum in equal measure, green noise refers to a particular variant of white noise. Green noise is generally at or around a frequency of 500 hertz, and green noise, it sounds like sounds that seem like soft ocean waves, waterfalls, and rivers all fall into the green noise category. And I actually prefer those. In the white noise spectrum, I prefer the green, and it may help you fall asleep initially, but they say it's also a good idea that you have a timer on it because it may be disruptive later in your sleep pattern. Like it helps to put you to sleep, but it might not be ideal in keeping you there.
I know there's a lot of benefits for a lot of people. White noise, green noise, purple noise, I don't care. But there's something to be said for quiet.
Just quiet.
I need
quiet.
TV noise. Does that work?
I can do it.
That's all the colors of the noise.
Mm-hmm.
She swears, and I agree, by the way, Brady has a white noise machine, and we swear that we hear some type of melody or tone or music in it that's playing. We've asked Taylor about it. She says, no, I don't hear anything. She spotted it. I was like, yeah, there's something. There's some underlying something that's calling out from that white noise machine. Perhaps it's a ghost. It might be Casper for all I know. We got today's Did You Know coming right up. Plus, what's new at the movie theater? We'll tell you next here on In the Know.
Every child deserves to feel safe, heard, and loved. Right now, there are children in our community facing tough times, and they need someone to stand by their side. That someone could be you.
My name is Misty, and I'm the 4-H Extension Agent from LaRue County, and I'm a proud CASA volunteer.
My name is Debbie Childress, and I'm the Executive Director of the Grayson County Alliance, and I'm a proud CASA volunteer.
My name is Kitty Smith. I am a proud CASA volunteer from Meade County. You can be a CASA too.
It only takes a few hours a month to make a lasting impact. Your voice can help a child find hope and stability during the most difficult moments. Visit CASAHeartland.org or call us today to learn more. Help us build brighter futures, one child at a time.
Did you know there's money available to help you pay for trade school or college? Yep, and all you need to do is fill out the free application for federal student aid, also known as the FAFSA. Completing the FAFSA costs you nothing but time, and it can pay off big. And there are experts across Kentucky who can help. For more info, visit gearupky.org/money. That's gearupky.org/money. It's brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-961-1527. That's 800-961-1527. 800-961-1527.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather. A slow but steady warm-up begins on your Friday. After starting off in the single digits, we'll get close to the 30-degree mark this afternoon, maybe touching freezing in Louisville, but that's about it. Most of us are above freezing on Saturday with highs in the mid to upper 30s. We're climbing into the 40s Sunday with several days in the 50s early next week. From the Wave Storm Tracking Team, I'm Carson Meredith.
Don't miss the hottest songs in the country on American Top 40 this weekend. Got a bunch of new songs making their debut on the countdown, and we'll find out which collaboration from Bruno Mars claims the #1 spot. It all goes down this weekend on American Top 40.
Did you know people with blue eyes are better able to see in the dark? If you have blue eyes, then you need less carrots because you can see in the dark better.
I don't know.
That's
I mean,
a myth, right?
I have blue eyes.
Yes, you do, Samuel.
You think you see pretty well in the dark?
Well, I mean, considering that I've never seen with green eyes, I have no idea of knowing.
Yeah, it would be hard. You don't really have a frame of reference for that. I got it. I understand. New at the theater today, The Unbreakable Boy. That's Zachary Levi, Patricia Heaton, and The Monkey is an R-rated horror film. That's Elijah Wood is in it. It's at least a name that I recognize. And then perhaps the biggest news of the day, Amazon has assumed creative control of the James Bond universe. Maybe Amazon will make another movie about the gold at Fort Knox. Goldfinger Part 2. So I'm excited. Yeah, I think this is good. You know, that Disney was able to take the Star Wars universe and extend it in a way that probably Lucasfilm was not going to be able to do as quickly. And I'm hoping that Amazon MGM, by having creative control over the Bond franchise, will be able to do things with it that weren't going to happen otherwise. So I'm excited at that. Still need to know who the next Bond is. It's not going to be Daniel Craig, but they have not decided who will play
Is
the
it you?
next Bond. I would audition. I mean, I would entertain an offer from them is my point. I'll listen.
Something tells me that they'd have to pay you a lot less than they'd have to pay the actual Bond.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'll just go ahead and tell you, I'll do it for half of whatever Daniel Craig got in his last appearance. I'll do it for exactly half.
Something tells me that if they called you up and they said, "Here's $20," you'd
I was going to say, you'd do probably for less than half of one of the suits.
yeah, you'd probably pay them.
Half of the half? I don't know. I mean,
Wouldn't you? Just to say?
maybe. I don't know. I don't want to be easy. I don't want to look like I'm just a pushover. I mean, for goodness sakes.
But you wouldn't be able to tell Leia that you were doing it. You just have to take her to the movie theaters and just
that's true.
Walk in there and just have her see you up on the big screen.
And
we're going. We're living on set.
I'd show up
We're
in the little circle,
Listen.
and my silhouette comes out in a.
I know. We're loading up the Gertmeister. We're homeschooling.
Yeah, Gertie's got to be in the movie, right?
Right?
And
Get it together,
I'd be
Gert.
looking forward to the opportunity to say, "Hey, shake and not stir." I would not say it with the panache that he would do it. We have been, since Kendrick Lamar was the halftime entertainment, we have been trying to figure out where the limits are for Sam before he would get mad enough to cry out on who it would be. I really thought I had him at Morgan Wallen. Jelly Roll, he was somewhat indifferent about. Morgan Wallen, his pulse picked up, and he was at least momentarily.
Both of those, I mean, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to pay attention. I'm just going to walk in the other room.
Participate. I didn't realize until this morning that Carrie Underwood's fan club are called the Care Bears. You know, they have the Swifties. Carrie Underwood has the Care Bears, and they have started a petition to try and make her the halftime entertainment show for the Super Bowl next year for what would be Super Bowl 60. Because there has not been a country music artist who has performed at the Super Bowl since 2003 with Shania Twain. But news is out today that it is, according to the online betting guide, Miley Cyrus and Chappell Roan are the current favorites among bookmakers to perform during the Super Bowl 60 halftime show with identical 5-1 odds. Chappell Roan she does not have enough household name awareness to carry a Super Bowl halftime show. She might perform in one with Miley Cyrus. Miley is big enough, but Chappell Roan is not big enough by herself. Chappell Roan is maybe only 40% of the artist that Kendrick Lamar was. So I'm not saying she won't get there, that she won't get to Gaga status, but she's not there yet, and I don't think she'll be there in 12 months. Sam, would you be satisfied with Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, I guess that's fine. I have nothing against Miley.
Do you want to hear, so basically what you're telling me is you want to hear Flowers performed at Levi's Stadium at Santa Clara next February.
I mean, she at least puts on
She got a lot of content.
She's a guaranteed, yes,
Mhm.
good show.
She has a good catalog without a doubt, so she'll be fine. Kim Kardashian is being sued for a social media mix-up. She was trying to help someone by posting their story, caused like an inmate. And so another inmate got mad because said that he was embarrassed because she was sharing his story, so she's suing her. So her ex-husband wrote a song about Gold Digger, and now she's encountering a Gold Digger. He is suing Kim for libel and slander over the mix-up. No good deed goes unpunished. So if you've seen Act 2 of Wicked, you know that song. A melody just came into your head. And then because of a Super Bowl commercial, a song that is 53 years of age has re-entered the top of the charts, especially in the digital downloads. I thought it was odd at the Super Bowl when the crowd was singing it. Like, I thought it was a good moment.
Yeah, my eyebrow raised.
I wondered if it was real. I was like, is that real or is this
I turned
staged?
and looked at you, and your face kind of had this look like, huh.
Yeah, it's been a thing in the games in England where the fans have sung with us.
But we're not allowed to say anything bad about John Denver in our family, or we'll get the wrath of Tita Mama.
I won't get any banana nut bread.
That's right. So we got to say good things about John Denver. But he is quite the troubadour, and this song popular again. Good shared experience. Got to get to a break. We'll have today's chart topper, point to ponder, pearl of wisdom, and more straight ahead.
All my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water.
Racism has been a stain in our country for generations, and it will never end unless parents take an active role in educating their children about how to treat others with respect. So what can you do? I encourage you to engage your children in conversations about different cultures. Talk to them about how other groups of people live their daily lives or how they celebrate holidays. Your children will learn that skin color isn't what makes people act or talk a certain way. It's culture and tradition. Also, encourage your children to ask questions. Teach them how to have a healthy dialogue about people who are different from them. The more they understand about the road someone else has walked, the less likely your children will act judgmentally toward them. Most importantly, though, model through your words and actions how to treat people with love and respect, no matter how dark or how light their skin color may be. Some say that children are colorblind, but I don't believe that's true. Children easily notice differences, whether it's between boys and girls, between hairstyles, clothing, or the color of skin. And one final thought, don't be too quick to punish your child the first time you're shocked to hear inappropriate remarks. Try not to overreact. Instead, gently try to steer their thinking in the right direction by teaching them the appropriate way to engage on the issue of race. To help your children thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-961-1527. That's 800-961-1527. 800-961-1527.
The Grayson County Health Department reminds you of the importance to get vaccinated. It's important not only to protect yourself, but your friends, family, and coworkers. The Grayson County Health Department is committed to keeping our community safe. Walk-in clinics offer both the COVID-19 and flu vaccines, Monday through Thursday 9 to 11 and 1 to 3. Visit 124 East White Oak Street or myhealthdepartment.org. Grayson County Health Department. Together, we are better.
MB's point to ponder for today. So, tear gas makes people cry. Laughing gas makes people giggle. What other types of gas do we need? We need some other types of gas to make people do things that we would find to be funny or cruel.
Flatulence makes you gag.
I was gonna say, did you mention a cheek sneak?
Is that bean gas? But I mean, like, are there others that make people cry? Are there other emotions that we would want to,
some people cry out of anger.
Would be their anger gas, or would there be? I don't know. Just wondered if we needed any.
Is that like
any
no,
new
I
ones?
don't know. I think we're good.
Okay, stick with the number we have.
Yeah.
There are plenty of them that are available.
Can I say too? I just got, like, I don't know if you have a Wani Na, but we can give a big congratulations to Travis Johnston. He was just named Boys Region Coach of the Year by the Kentucky Association of Basketball Coaches.
Travis Johnson is the 3rd region coach of the year.
So congratulations to him.
Okay, here
Just
comes
came out.
ignorance. How many regions do we have?
16.
16.
Okay,
But there's how many teams in the region? About 16, aren't there?
There are 15.
15 teams in the region,
Yep.
so he
Thanks
was
for the education.
one of 15, so that's good.
That's awesome.
Congratulations,
Good
Travis.
job.
That's good. He'll probably send his. You think he'll still do the post game tonight, or now he's going to start delegating?
He
that out?
probably
Is he
will.
going
He's going full Cal.
Is he Cal status
Yeah.
tonight?
Well, since it's a road game, he'll probably just be getting changed as he's running to go to the plane back from the Hallsville Airport, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Tonight on TV, of course, we have a doubleheader on your YouTube, on our YouTube channel, so you can subscribe, and we'll tell you when it goes live. You can see the Hancock County, Grayson County ×2. Again, reminder, in case there is no man's land there between Hawesville and Lewisport, and it is extremely hard. It's always been challenging, so just be prepared. NCIS Sydney is on CBS tonight. Happy's Place is on NBC tonight. The PGA Tour is the Mexico Open going on this weekend. It's on NBC instead of CBS. Tomorrow night, it's a rerun of SNL, Paul Mescal and Shabuzi. In case you haven't heard that bar song enough, it'll be on your TV tomorrow night. Watson on Sunday night on CBS, Family Guy on Fox, and Suits LA. You enjoyed Suits, regular Suits?
Loved Suits.
I did not see it, so I'm going to try and catch up on Suits, and then maybe we can get in on Suits LA. Will that be okay?
Maybe. I've not seen anything about Suits LA, but
It premieres on NBC Sunday night.
we
both fell asleep
I'm a
during.
purist.
We both fell asleep during episode 2
Listen.
of Severance last night, and
Somebody's gonna have to
still can't
help.
figure it
I
out.
don't know what's going on.
It must be us. I guess it's
It's
just.
really
us.
odd that both of us, though.
I don't know. There was.
Sam, you've not tried.
No, but I've heard it's
Are
fantastic.
you going to?
Yes.
Are you going to try?
Yes.
All right. Keep
Maybe
us
it's a
posted.
generational thing. Today's
Maybe.
highlight in history: this day, 1965, civil rights activist Malcolm X, at age 39, was shot to death outside the Audubon Ballroom in New York. Birthdays today: David Geffen is 82, Tyne Daly is 79. She's half of Cagney and Lacey. William Peterson is 72. Kelsey Grammer is 70. Mary Chapin Carpenter is 67. William Baldwin 62. Titus Burgess 46. Jennifer Love Hewitt 46. Jordan Peele 46. Charlotte Church 39. And Sophie Turner, formerly Sophie Turner Jonas, is 29 today. Gone but not forgotten: Irma Bombeck in 1927, Nina Simone in 1933, Rue McClanahan, one of the Golden Girls, in 1934, John Lewis in 1940, and Alan Rickman was born this date in 1946.
Snape.
Some of us know him from Die Hard. Some of us know him as Professor Snape.
Snape. P.
Snape. with a P.
Yes. Maybe the best
Number one.
casting in that entire movie was him.
You know, I agree with that one too.
1964. I think I don't.
McGonagall was good too.
I don't love the franchise, maybe like you all do. I enjoyed it fine, but yes, his character was very good. He played it very well. Is my point. Stonewall Jackson, BJ the DJ, number one in 1964. I've heard enough of that. Thank you.
One of the better double agents too in all of lore.
1973. Eric Weisberg and Steve Mandel were number one with Dueling Banjos. It gets picked up and like late in the song. There you go. You know, I've never seen Deliverance. Just because I heard like the thing people warn you about in Deliverance, like, no, I have no interest in watching that.
Well, I haven't either. Should we add it?
Yeah, no. I've lived 53 years without it. Oh, wait a minute. I've lived 52 years without it. It only came out in 73.
Don't be changing your birthday on me.
Just shake it up. This was on the Mark, Martha, and Marita skating soundtrack in the basement when we were kids.
I don't doubt that.
This was
at
playing
all.
on the little Panasonic tape player. We had recorded it off the radio, off this station, by the way, and then we would play it. Like, this makes you want to skate. Just ask Misty. She knows that's a great skating song. I mean, you can't deny it. Let's go to 1991. Mariah Carey and Someday.
You know, it's funny, I've said from the get-go that I am not a fan of her.
Right.
But every time something comes on, what happens over here in this chair?
You start, you
I
feel
know.
a little wiggle.
So I think I know.
25 years ago today, NSYNC was number one with Bye Bye Bye. So they did on the SNL Homecoming, they did I Want It That Way. I forgot what an anthem that turned into, because everybody in there was like of that generation. So they did a good job with it. So that is my Aunt Mary Lynn, by the way. Yes, I saw it on the big screen.
Go Aunt Mary Lynn.
If you've seen Mandy Bryant's video
If you
from
haven't,
Zumba,
go look.
it's really good,
Go
isn't it?
watch it.
MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says the problem with people is they forget that most of the time it's the small things that count. Most of the time it's the small things that count. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG, Litchfield. The Twin Lakes Best Mix.